the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed, laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back, trackside, once again. Race fans here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series fires things off for race number 5. Here in season number 7, drivers going to tackle the track here at Loudon, New Hampshire. You're watching the Joe Lasser Senior Memorial 100 right here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave in the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. Hot sun beat track here and Loudon. Track temperature 111 degrees as drivers already laying down qualifying time, so we'll jump right into some of your timing and scoring. What do you say we drop those speed charts over there to the left hand side of your screen? Quick time here in qualifying belongs to the number 46 of Chris Medford. Medford with a good run here in qualifying, just 0.03 of a second faster than Brandon last week's race winner. Brandon Medford sitting second outside pole position. Teammates 1, 2, 3 on track here in qualifying, and Troy Radford going to round out the third Charity Motorsports truck Inside of your top 3, John Gutekunst just outside of the top 5. John Garrett with a solid 7th place showing here for qualifying. A lot of trucks ready to hit the track here tonight. Upwards of, I believe it is, 21 trucks will be attempting the start of tonight's race. So as the music slowly begins to wind down and fade in the background, the time begins to tick off for the final 2 minutes here in qualifying. 12 drivers with the time on the speed charts. Chris Medford still fastest, topping those speed charts. 30:33 is the pass time here in qualifying for Medford. Brandon Pamitat with a great qualifying effort. He's going to move to the top 5 position. Wes Fuller, Mark Gonzalez, Thomas Smalling yet to put in a time lap, but all 3 are still out there on track. Ricky Gonzalez, Scott Baker, James Oud, Ray Radford, and Cody Giles still yet to hit the track. And Giles, he's going to make a late run at it here. The 6th truck going to go out in the final. Looks to be about 60 seconds. So Giles is going to have about 1 attempt at it. He's going to be lucky to get a full flying lap in here as he's on his up-to-speed lap sword around the back stretch. We'll see if Giles can't put down a fast time. The starting grid almost set for tonight's Joe Lesser Sr. Memorial 100 from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Chris Medford going to top the speed charts with 30 seconds remaining. Only Wes Fuller, Mark Gonzalez, and Cody Giles have an opportunity to take that pole position away, but time is a-ticking, and Fuller going to go 12th with his first time lap. Gonzalez still yet to put in that time lap, as well as Giles. It's going to be hard-pressed for these guys to even put in a solid flying lap. 10 seconds remaining, and Giles going to go to 3rd. Cody with a great run as qualifying comes to a close. Chris Medford walks away with the pole position here in qualifying, so put a bonus point in the back pocket of that 46 truck, and we're going to get set up and ready to go for pre-race festivities. Get trackside for your national anthem, so we'll step away for a brief commercial break before we head trackside and get things kicked off. Ready to go for tonight's Joe Lesser Senior Memorial 100 live here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
so proudly railed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in out, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And we're back trackside after the flyover as drivers begin to make their way to the starting lane. We'll get ready to kick things off for the first time here tonight from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Moments ago, Chris Medford taking that top spot in qualifying. And I tell you what, why don't we go ahead and get to that official starting lineup? It's time to run down tonight's starting lineup for the show. Layson Senior Memorial 100 right here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway inside, rolling off with the pole position. Fastest time in qualifying inside of that, number 46 is Chris Medford. Brandon Medford, familiar face just to his outside. Cody Giles, Brandon Pimitan back in row number 2. Row number 3 here tonight belongs to the 94 of Troy Radford and the 55 of Nathan Eastep. Dustin Franklin and Mark Parkhurst back in row number 4. Row number 5 here tonight from Loudon, the 66 of John Garrett and the 41 of John Gutekunst. So John G's making up row number 5 and back in row number 6. 42 of Thad Failer and the 4 of Scott Clodfelter. Row number 7, Wes Fuller and Zachary Woods, Thomas Mullen and Mark Gonzalez back in row 8. Row number 9 here tonight for the Joe Layson Senior Memorial 100 belongs to the 7 of Ricky Gonzalez, Scott Baker, Ray Radford, James Oot, and Tyler Woodard is your race control. And the iRacing pace car ready to duck off. There it goes, and away we go into the restart zone. All the gas and green flag flies for the first time here tonight from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Down into turn number 1 goes your race leader, side-by-side action with Brandon just to his outside. Nobody really breaking away on the start of tonight's race. Everybody still there jockeying for position. Second and third now up for grabs as Giles looks to the inside. Trying to make it work on the bottom of the racetrack. Not going to have the grip up out of his corner exit, and he's going to lose about 2 truck lengths. Brandon Pimitan, 48. He's going to work his way by now. Nathan Eastep looks to the high side of Giles. The 6 sliding backward just a little bit side by side. Battle they'll drag race down the backstretch. Medford leads Medford into 3. Handful of laps in our back pocket as we cross the line to begin lap number 3. We'll throw that timing and scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen and let you follow along and find your favorite driver out there on track. Keep tabs just like we do right here in the production booth hot and heavy battle. Let's go outside of your top 10. There you can see drivers already single file, but now looking down to the inside, Thomas Smalley going to take the position away from Ricky Gonzalez. He's going to grab that 14th spot away. Gonzalez going to fight back. Baylor and Gutekunst with a short-lived battle for the final spot inside of the top 10. Baylor will take the position away and move the 42 to 10. Front of the field, single file here tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Early in the going, race leader, your pole sitter tonight, Chris Medford, walking away 2/10 of a second advantage over the 83 of Brandon Medford. So the teammates thinking alike and thinking at the front of this field. Taking a look now at the 66 of John Garrett, halfway down the back stretch now into turn number 3. You can see him closing in on the rear tank lid of Mark Parkhurst. We're going to go inside of the race truck here. Let's get a vantage point from inside of the car here with Garrett hot on the trail of Parkhurst, and we'll cross the line. Lap number 6 goes on the board as Garrett continues to try to run down Parkhurst just out front. Nobody really stepping away except those top 2 drivers. Through 5 laps completed here tonight, quick pace for your front runners. A little high that time going into turn number 3. Garrett going to wash up the racetrack just a little bit, and that's going to allow that failure to close in behind. We'll take a look off at the tail end of the 66 machine, and oh boys, that's not it. Let's get it right. There it is. Good look back at these drivers as they take different lines of entry, different braking points, throttle points. There's a handful of ways that you can run this flat track here at Loudon New Hampshire Motor Speedway. You can really run that seam up there on the high side. You can see the drastically different pavement styles through the corner, through corners 1 and 2, as well as 3 and 4. A little bit of off camber and down on the bottom right there, just beneath that last dotted line. You can get the trunk a little bit off camber, and set yourself up for a sticky situation if you're not quite prepared and ready for it. Truck does have a little bit of a tendency to try to step out on you. We've got a battle just outside of your top 5. Let's go back right here. Nathan Eastep, Dustin Franklin, as well as Troy Rafford, all embroiled in a battle here. That's been 67th on the racetrack. Top 2, Chris and Brandon Medford stepping out. 1.3 second advantage over Brandon Pamitat, who runs in 3rd. U.S. Air Force 48 looking good, looking smooth here tonight. He does have Cody Giles hot on his trail. There's Giles trying to make a move. Contact. Eastep got to collect a driver, and caution will fly. Caution to fly after a little bit of contact and a big slide for Eastep to square D, number 55. Gonna have a little damage to fix on pit road, and doesn't look too worse for the wear, so I don't believe it was that bad of an incident on track, but nonetheless, we're still going to go back. Let's go check the replay. And just a little bit of contact's all it takes in the rear of these machines. The square D, number 55, going to collect, and I think that's going to be the bigger damage right there. That last hit with Parkhurst. And I am so sorry for the mispronunciation, but thank you, Christina. We do appreciate it. There you go, Lassen. We got it, Lassen. And we'll rejoin the race live as everybody goes to pit road except for the 66 of John Garrett. He's going to stay out on track. He's going to roll the dice and try to grab himself a little bit of track position in tonight's Joe Lassen Sr. Memorial 100. There you go. There we got it. Let's get a thumbs up out there if we've got it, or let me know. And see, this is why we love our dedicated fans. They're not afraid to come out and call you out. They're not afraid to tell you, hey, man, you're kind of messing that up. This is how you do it. And we do appreciate you all for coming in, stopping by, checking in, keeping us straight up here in the booth. So caution flag will fly for the first time here tonight on lap number 9. We see trouble, a little bit of contact. One truck goes around. Mark Parkhurst involved in this one. A little bit of damage on that number 23 machine. The 55 of Nathan Eastep also catching some damage. Eastep already down and away from pit road, fixing up his damage. It looks like it's none worse for the wear. So both of these drivers we'll continue on and continue to try to track down that checkered flag. Pace car lights are off. We're ready to roll once again to hear from New Hampshire. Who you got? We're going to find out as they bring these machines back to life. Green flag flies back across the line. Lap number 13 now underway. A little bit of contact. A few truck links back. You can see Troy Radford having to get out of the line. I believe that is also Thad Failer. Yes, it is in the 42. Whoa, more contact. Thomas Smalling to the bottom of the racetrack. Smalling into the inside wall. The number 21 Pro Cup Racing Experience Chevy Silverado is going to have some trouble. He's going to be involved in our second caution of the evening. And let's go check the iRacing League calculator replay. Looks like the fella's going to catch it a little bit late. We'll back it up. And yeah, it just looks like a loose condition there. Didn't see anything going on behind him. We'll take one more look here. Significant precursor to Smalling going around here. So what could possibly be just a loose condition off of turn number 2 with some fresh tires. The cold tires, it can spell some trouble at times. Rear of the field looks clean, so we'll head back live once again front of the field with your race leader, Chris Medford, back at the point. Short-lived race lead for the man inside of the number 66 machine. John Garrett going to roll the dice and stay out on the track. 10-lap difference on the tires for Garrett in the rest of this field. And Garrett going to give up that top spot and slide back to third. Brandon Medford back in fourth. Cody Giles fifth. Charlie Radford, Thad Failer, Mark Gonzalez, John Gutekunst, Wes Fuller round out your top 10. Quick back-to-back cautions in tonight's Joe Lassen Senior Memorial 100. Do cautions continue to breed cautions, or will we see a long green flag run? Beginning of this race looked to have the makings of a long green flag run. Just a little bit of contact, and that's about all it takes on the rear of these machines as the drivers receive the one-finger wave. It's time to go racing once again to hear from Loudon. And see, Spencer, I didn't mention it because I wasn't sure if we were going to go ahead and let it run if we went green. Let that be the stage break. Yes, indeed, Spencer out there in the chat. Excuse me. Lap number 20 is our stage break here tonight. Scheduled stage break. If we get another quick caution, it's not gonna matter about the stage break though. We'll have our third caution of the night, but we should see a short little shootout here for the stage break. And maybe that has something to do with John Garrett's race strategy. He's got an extra set of tires waiting for him in the pits. To the restart zone, we roll on the gas and green flag flies as race leader Chris Medford takes the outside lane. He's going to pull Brandon clear of Habitat down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, now that 48's going to fight back on the inside. Trying to lay down the power on the bottom of the racetrack. Trunk gets a little bit loose, corner exit. He's able to keep it heading in the right direction. Now it's going to be Medford, Habitat at the front. Once again, Troy Radford back and forth. Cody Giles fifth. Failure and Garrett going at it as we cross the line. Lap number 18 now underway. Two, almost three wide in the middle of this field. Gonzalez, Garrett, Gutekunst all over each other. Let's go watch this hornet's nest. Drivers all stacked up right here, rolling with each other. Garrett digging in the middle of the racetrack, trying to keep that position away from Mark Gonzalez down on the bottom of the racetrack in number 8 truck. Down there on the bottom of the racetrack, the Lenovo number 8 listed as the 034 wide as the 74 has trouble on the bottom of the racetrack, and it looks like Gonzalez is going to have trouble as well. Lap number 20. Now underway, final lap here before the stage break. Chris Medford going to bring the field down the back stretch and into turn 3 for the final time before your stage break. All these drivers going to get to breathe just a little bit and begin to set their strategies up, begin to try to execute their plans. Off of turn 4. We'll cross the line. Lap number 21 now underway. We should see that competition caution, the stage break coming right here. And there it is. A caution on the track. Stage break now underway. Chris Medford going to lead a handful of laps, almost all of them to be exact, after snatching the pole position here tonight. So as drivers will have an opportunity to catch up to the back end of the pace car and make some pit stops. We're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Pay a few bills. You know how it is. You know how that goes. So don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back trackside, just as the drivers make their way off of turn number 4, will nail the gas and go back. Green flag racing. Once again here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. New race leader at the front. Winning the race off of pit road. A little bit of pit strategy involved in this one. Dustin Franklin going to take right sides, only it's not going to work out as the 83 of Brandon Medford looks to the bottom of the racetrack, looks for the race lead. Familiar faces surrounding the front of this field as we cross the line this time around. Lap number 25 going to go in our back pocket, and we are more than a third of the way through tonight's race, or just about a third of the way through tonight's race. And back here the front is Brandon Medford, Dustin Franklin, Chris Medford right there. John Gudekunst's going to go for a ride. The 41 machine goes around. 41 going to go around. He'll collect the truck and get it headed back in the right direction. No harm, no foul here, but caution will fly once again. Caution will fly here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. John Gudekunst, the latest victim. Little bit of contact, and Gudekunst's going to go around. Let's go back. Let's check our replay. Catching it a little bit late. We'll try one more time. There you go. There's the contact between Gudekunst and Baylor. And I believe Parkhurst going to get caught up in this one as well. So 3 trucks in this latest incident here. Caution number 4 flies here tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Third race incident here tonight, fourth caution of the evening, as we've had our stage break, our one and only stage break of the night in tonight's Joe Lassen Senior Memorial 100 right here live from Loudon, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. You're watching the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. 90 laps of racing for these truck drivers to tackle here tonight. And look at that, number 5, that Fort Worth screen printing, number 5, Chevy Silverado of Scott Baker. Nice and clean here tonight, but stuck back in traffic. The 5 listed in the 15th position as we receive the 1 to go this time around. Let's jump back with your race leaders. Back behind the iRacing pace car, our good buddy Josiah Midland out there pulling pace car duties for us tonight. So we do want to give a big shout out and a tip of the cap to Mr. Millen inside of that Ford Mustang pace car. Will we see another quick success of caution, or will we see these drivers begin to spread out? A little bit of a run to open up tonight's race here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We've seen a few cautions, but looks like truck drivers ready to settle on in. Brandon Medford with the race lead. He'll control the restart back into the restart zone, and away we go on the gas. Green flag flies once again here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We'll roll across the line this time by and put a third of the race in our back pocket way up the racetrack. Is that number 6 of Cody Giles. A little bit of damage on the driver's side door as well. The 6 a little scraped up. Troy Radford going to move into third. Now a big move to the bottom of the racetrack. I believe that's the 74. No, that is the 46. Chris Medford with a big move to the bottom of the racetrack. Looking for position. Cody Giles going to try to follow suit and make his way around the 74 of Dustin Franklin. Hot and heavy battle here as Giles going to pack it in deep into the corner. He'll take the position. Pamitat trying to make it work down there with his U.S. Air Force number 48 machine. Only driver on the bottom of the racetrack right now. It's a lonely world for Brandon Pamitat. Down the backstretch as everybody chases after your race leader, Brandon Medford. Will drop that Tommy scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen one more time. Medford looking for his second win. Troy Radford looking for his first. Chris Medford looking for his second win on the season as well. Can Brandon produce back-to-back race-winning performances? Very able truck driver out there leading the field, and you can see him starting to open up a slight gap, 0.3 of a second over teammate Troy Radford. Chris Medford in a close third all over both of their gearboxes is that 6 of Cody Giles. Brandon Pamitat settling in to a solid 5th position. Dustin Franklin right there behind him, about 3 truck lengths back is Franklin Hahn paddle right here. Let's go as all these drivers still single file. Still within striking distance. You can see them all fan out right there through the corner. As Ricky Gonzalez has a little bit of a connection issue. It'll cause a little bit of a fit, but we'll get it fixed up and headed back into turn number 3. There's that square D, number 55, involved in the first incident here tonight. You can see the residual damage on the driver's side door on that number 55 of Nathan Estep. Back in the top 10, so turning his night around, heading back in the right direction. He's going to try to run down the 35 of Wes Fuller. Back across the stripe, lap number 35 now under our belts. Front of the field starting to distance themselves from each other. Just about 3 to 4 tenths of a second gap between your top 3 drivers. Troy Radford going to lose that 3rd position as Giles going to make his way by Cody on a tear here tonight. Had a little bit of troubles and a little bit of issues. Had to go back through the field for 2 or 3 of these restarts, but Giles going to move his way back to right where he qualified, back to the 3rd position. Brandon Pamitat right there, knocking on the door of the top 5. Dustin Franklin, John Garrett, Wes Fuller, Nathan Estep, and Ricky Gonzalez round out your top 10. Thomas Smalling trying to bring that 21 Pro Comp Racing Experience machine back inside of a top 10 position right here, battling on the gearbox of E-Step. This is your closest battles on track. We're going to stay right here with this battle for positions inside of the top 10 as drivers out front begin to distance themselves even further. Your top 5 stepping away. Big contact outside wall. Nathan E-Step going to overstep and scrape that outside wall. That's going to open up the door and give the 21 an opportunity to dive down to the bottom of the racetrack, and he will take the final position inside of the top 10. Smalling right there digging on the bottom. James Hoot has some trouble. James Hoot with issues there. You can see that Gunskins number 65 of James Hoot, and he's going to have some trouble, and he's going to head to pit lane. We'll go back and we'll check the iRacing League calculator replay. There you can see Hoot, a little bit of a slide off of the corner trying to catch it. Going to do a good job of catching the truck. No contact made. But he's going to hit that tow truck button and head to pit lane. We'll head back up front with your race leader, Brandon Medford, as he brings the field back to a crawl back behind the iRacing pace car here, lap number 40 underway. As it looks like the entire field going to head down pit road, that's going to give us an opportunity to pay a few more of these bills. It's an expensive job keeping the lights turned on here, so we're going to take this opportunity in moment to step away from the track. Don't worry, race fans. We'll be right back live trackside for all your green flag action here in the Joe Lassen Senior Memorial 100.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
And we'll cut the commercial short as we are back. Green flag racing just after our latest restart. Chris Medford going to win the race off of pit road, and he's going to pull away from the field on this latest restart. Medford out the front. We've got more trouble on the track, Ricky Gonzalez going to go around off of turn number 2. The 7 going to go for a slide, and his Chevy Silverado is going to pick up a handful of damage here. Tough break tonight for that number 7. Cautions breeding a little bit of cautions here tonight as drivers struggling to get the grip on those cold tires. After coming down pit road, we've seen quick cautions after these drivers visit pit road and change out for those fresh Goodyears. It seems to be like the coldness and the freshness of the tires are not going well with the temperature of the track here tonight. We started tonight's race at 111 degrees. We'll take a look at the weather report here halfway through tonight's Joe Lassen Senior Memorial 100, and track temperature significantly cooling off there. You can see track temperature only 103 degrees, so we should see a little bit of grip begin to build back into the racetrack. But for right now, it is continuing to give these drivers a little bit of problems, a little bit of a fit. And, well, you know what Joey Logano says? That's just short track racing. Caution number 6 going to fly for our 5th racing incident of the evening. One caution coming for our stage break back at lap number 20. Halfway point here at tonight's biggest mover of the race is that 21 Pro Cup Racing Experience Chevy Silverado, piloted by Thomas Smalling. He's going to be up 7 positions from where he qualified. Going to restart back in the 8th position. So we'll see if Smalling can make some more gains through the course of the second half of this race. I believe fuel strategy should be null and void here, as drivers able to get about 50 to 52 laps of fuel on a fuel run, and well, they've got less than 50 to go as we roll to the restart zone on the loud pedal, and away we go. Green flag flies from New Hampshire. Good battle for that race lead. The Medford brothers going at it. Chris and Brandon. Racing hard for that race lead. They've got teammate Troy Radford right behind him. Radford, the only driver from that Falcon Motorsports Charity Motorsports Alliance that has yet to visit victory lane here so far this season. Radford came into tonight's race sitting inside of the top 5 in the point standings. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle, and Radford taps the outside wall with that right rear. Drivers at the front starting to scoot away as the battle is for 3rd place. Giles and Radford going at it for the final spot in the podium, and whoa, hanging it slideways. Coming out of the corner on the high side is Giles. He's going to take that position away and move the 6th to 3rd. Still a lot of great racing action all over the racetrack, so we're going to jump around just a little bit. Let's go back here with the 66 of John Garrett. A little further back, Van Baylor, Zachary Woods, John Goodicums, Nathan Estep just outside of your top 10. Estep running in that 11th position. There you see Nathan trying to run down Zachary Woods and Van Baylor. As Garrett still on a mission, still on a quest to get back towards the front of this field. Garrett up 3 positions from where he qualified, but wanting a little bit more. The 60th Zachary Woods running well here tonight. John Goodicums right on him, trying to make it work, looking for the crossover down the backstretch, now looking to the inside of the racetrack, down into turn number 3. We'll go side by side for 8th. Oh, I apologize, that's 9th and 10th. 9th and 10th on the racetrack, as the 41 going to have the advantage on the bottom of the track on corner exit, able to put the power down and get the forward bite that he needs to cross the line and grab that position. 3 truck battle behind them as Nathan Estep, Brandon Pimitat, and I believe that is Mark Gonzalez. Yes, it is Mark Gonzalez listed as the 64 truck, but showing up in the 8 here tonight. A little bit of a paint scheme mix-up, but we've got it all worked out on our side of things. Don't worry, race fans. Big moment there as Estep with a wiggle off of the corner exit up at the front of the field. We're going to jump back here for just a second. We got drivers all over each other. Battle for 2nd position now. Cody Giles, man on a mission. He is driving through this field. Giles taking the 3rd position away moments ago from Troy Radford. He is the only driver able to really roll the bottom through the center of the corners, and it is paying dividends here as that number 61 machine has moved to 3rd and run down. 2nd place runner Brandon Medford. Chris Medford out front. Almost a 1-second advantage as we are underway. Longest green flag run of the evening for these truck drivers, and we've done ourselves just about 35 laps to go. Chris Medford all but gone here. A 1 second advantage at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. If you got a decent enough truck, you can kind of manage that gap from here on out. Big battle though, second, third, fourth on the racetrack. Medford, Giles, Radford all going at it. Dustin Franklin beginning to make some headway. The 74 machine beginning to creep up in the picture. John Garrett just outside of your top 5. Garrett going to put that 66 machine in 6th. Thomas Smalling, Thad Failer, John Gutekunst, and Brendan Pimitan round out your top 10. Took these drivers a minute to settle in, but now that they are settled in, we are seeing some great racing action here in the Joe Lassen Senior Memorial 100 from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Drivers going at it. We're going to jump outside of your top 10. How about this battle between Mark Gonzalez and Zachary Woods? Zach Woods right there in that 60 machine trying to make it work. Not able to gain too much ground right there. Nathan Eastham dealing with Ricky Gonzalez and Scott Claudefelter. Claudefelter with a bit of a quiet night. No trouble, no contact, no incidents. That high racing, the sponsored number 4 machine, just kind of out here logging some laps. Debut night here for the Ford machine, so look for him to just try to have a solid top 15, maybe a top 10 finish, and I believe that would be a win for this team of their debut night. Meanwhile, front of the field, side by side, Gonzalez and Eastham go at it. So as we watch the battles in the back, let's go to a battle just outside of your top 5. Thomas Smalling, we came to the front. Thomas with a little bit of contact with that outside wall. John Garrett closing in on Thomas Smalling, and we've got trouble on the track. Big battle. We stepped away from it. Ricky Gonzalez and Nathan Eastep. We watched them battle lap after lap, and now there's trouble on the track. I tell you what, let's go back. Let's check the iRacing League calculator replay. 7 on the outside, little bit of a wiggle there. No, there's the contact, a little bit of a wiggle and contact between these drivers, and the 7 going to go to the inside and into the wall. Nathan Eastep going to all but trash that 55 machine. So the square D number 55, he's going to have himself a lengthy stay on pit road after that hard contact with the inside wall. That's going to put us under caution for the 6th time tonight for on-track incidents. And the field will come to a crawl back behind the iRacing pace car. So everybody back down pit road. Looks like we've got a wave around out there on the track. That's going to be the 35 Ford F-150 of Wes Fuller. Fuller going to get himself a lap back. Race off of pit road belongs to Chris Medford. Brandon Medford going to follow him on to the racing service. Cody Giles going to slide back to 3rd. Troy Radford right there in 4th. Dustin Franklin works his way off of pit road in 5th. And we're going to head back trackside. What do you say, race fans? Let's get back trackside here as drivers make their way down into turns 3 and 4. Down the front stretch and back across the line, back into turn number 1. Medford will lead the field back behind the pace car, and we'll get ready to fire things off. I believe we'll see lap number 64, lap number 65 possibly, as we get ready to go back. Green flag racing into short laps. Field should receive the 1 to go this time by and we will work our way under 25 laps to go. A short distance for these truck drivers to try to conquer the field and walk away with a checkered flag here tonight. Will we see our first repeat winner of the season? That is the big question here tonight. Already one previous race winner with some big time trouble. John Garrett, the 66, he's going to restart all the way outside of your top 15. All the way back in the 17th position is that Fort Worth screen printing number 66 Chevy Silverado. Garrett with an uphill climb from here. Thomas Smalling was once your biggest mover of the night. He is now stuck back in that 10th position. Just looking for a little bit of help to try to get that 21 Pro Cup Racing Experience machine closer to the front of the field. But at the top of your standings, you see it right there on the left-hand side of your screen, Chris Medford, Brandon Medford. Going at it. Teammates looking to mix things up here in the Joe Lassen Senior Memorial 100. We are on the downhill side of things here tonight. Lap number 64 underway when we cross the line and bring these engines back to life, this time by iRacing pace car, ready to duck off, and we're ready to go back. Green flag racing. Kids, grab your popcorns. Dads, grab your beers. It's time. And the restart is here, underway. Green flag flies. Green flag flies once again here in the Joe Lassen Senior Memorial 100. A little bit of a rough restart there for Brandon, not quite able to get on the loud pedal and lay down the power the way he was this previous restart. Troy Radford now trying to work over Boot Renovations number 6 Fort Worth screen printing Chevy Silverado of Cody Giles. Giles right there where he qualified, sitting in that 3rd position. Radford up one spot from 5th to 4th, and he is looking for some more. Thad Failer, Dustin Franklin not too far off from there. There you can see Franklin, bottom of the racetrack, trying to take some positions. And we talked about Smalling needing to find some pace, needing to find some speed here. He is already up to the 7th position, knocking on the door of a top of 5 here. Ooh, close right there. Dustin Franklin a little slow on corner exit. That's going to stack the field up. 21 of Thomas Smalling almost into the back of the 42. He makes a little bit of a move. He's going to avoid any contact, any damage, and we'll head down the back stretch now as Marco Gonzalez closes in on the back end of Thomas Smalling. Brandon Pamitat bringing that U.S. Air Force 48 back to the front of the field. We've been accustomed to seeing this U.S. Air Force 48 at the front of the field here tonight, but now he is behind the 8 ball with just 24 laps to go. Can Pamitat work his way through traffic? Still side-by-side action here between Mark Gonzalez and Brandon Pamitat. How about Gonzalez, man, showing up here tonight. Debut race at the tough little short track. This thing is pretty much like Martinsville, just a little bit, I would say probably a little less banking actually than Martinsville. And, well, just a little blown up in size as well. Martinsville, that half mile, this a 1.03. Paperclip track, and drivers at the front starting to work each other over. Let's shift our gears a little bit closer to the front as Thomas Smalling beginning to run down Thad Failer. Dustin Franklin faltering just slightly. He's going to lose a little bit of ground to Troy Radford, as Radford now losing those top 3. 21 laps remain as we cross the line this time around. Race leader at the front of this field still Chris Medford, your pole sitter here tonight. Medford looking good inside of that 46 machine. He has been one of the fastest drivers all night. He's going to go ahead and seal the deal for the most laps led. We're going to look for your fastest lap of the race now. Let's look through the head timing and scoring. Do we have anything faster? And we don't have anything faster, so how about this? Checking almost every single box here tonight. Chris Medford going to walk away with the pole position. He's going to walk away with the most laps led. He's going to walk away with the fastest lap of the race, looking to walk away with the checkered flag with just 20 laps to go. The only thing he can capture is the most positions gained. And, well, when you start from the front, it's hard to kind of improve. I'm just saying. I mean, maybe they should count seconds as a position. I don't know. Things starting to sort themselves out the front. We'll take a look at your race leader inside of that Spartan Charities Foundations. 46 machined Chris Medford looking good, nice and clean. 1 second advantage over Brandon Medford, who's starting to have a little bit more company. We're going to check in right here with the battle for the final spots in the podium right now. Second, third, fourth, all going at it. Giles looking to take the position away as they exit turn number 2. There you can see the field coming right at you and right down the back stretch into turn number 3. We roll. Race leader Chris Medford, 1 second advantage. Cody Giles still digging, trying to take that second position away from Brandon Medford. I don't think he's going to get there. Race leader going to cross the line. 17 laps remaining here in the Joe Lassen Senior Memorial 100. How about some of these sights and sounds, race fans? Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely love it here. And we're going to go on board now. Let's go on board with our hood camera. On board with the Chevy Silverado number 6 machine of Cody Giles, trying to work his way down to the bottom of the racetrack and give himself an opportunity for a pass on a corner exit. He's going to lay down on the throttle. There you can see him. Oh, and he's going to be shifting gears. Shifting gears. Sneaky, sneaky. There it is. There's the downshift to third. He's going to get on the gas. You can hear him burp the throttle just a little bit. There's that gear change back to fourth. Contact with the outside wall. That's not going to give you what you want. Troy Radford going to close in as we jump back outside of the car and continue to watch this race unfold. 15 laps to go here from New Hampshire. Not just about the battles at the front of the field, it's about the battles all over the racetrack. Let's go back here. 3-car battle underway. Nathan Eastep, Ricky Gonzalez, and Mark Gonzalez all lined up with each other. Maybe a little bit of bad blood brewing here on track. Contact between the 55 and the 7 brought out our latest contact, and here they are fighting with each other on the track once again. Gonzalez gonna make the pass without any troubles. Eastep fades down to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll have the advantage through 3 and 4, digging on the bottom, and here he comes, going to work that square D, number 55, up off the bottom of the racetrack, slide across and right in front of the 7 as we cross the line. Lap number 77 now underway, just 13 to go for your race leader Chris Medford, who enjoys the biggest race lead we've seen all night long here tonight from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Medford with a 1.6 second advantage over Brandon Medford. Cody Giles rounding out your podium drivers with Troy Radford hot on the trail. continue to watch this battle for the final few positions inside of the top 10. As a matter of fact, it is a battle for the final spot in the top 10. Nathan Eastep has a Mark and Ricky Gonzalez both right here ready to bounce, wanting it for themselves. Meanwhile, front of the field, Brandon Medford dealing with Cody Giles. And oh, we got trouble. Trouble there for the 64. Mark Gonzalez going to go way up the racetrack. Contact with the outside wall. And we've got a repeat offender. The 7 going to bend offender. Against the back stretch. Outside safer Barry, the 7 with a little bit of contact. And he's going to give up a lot of track time here. And that's all going to put... It's all gonna put that battle for the final spot inside of the top 10 to rest. We're gonna jump now as Brandon Pamitat and Thomas Smalling, they're going at it, trading blows, throwing haymakers at each other. Smalling way up the racetrack through 3 and 4. The Pro Cup Racing Experience number 21 with some trouble in 3 and 4 this time around. The U.S. Air Force 48 of Brandon Pamitat gonna go to the bottom, and he'll take that position away. Covering the high side through 1 and 2 is Pamitat. He's going to force the 21 to make the cut down to the bottom of the racetrack. Not going to get there. He'll slide out of the corner. And Smalling with the contact with the outside wall. We've got ourselves just 9 laps to go here at the Joe Lassen Senior Memorial 100. Race lead continues to build for Chris Medford at the front of this field. We're going to transition to the front as we've got drivers battling 3rd and 4th on the racetrack. Cody Giles and Troy Radford battling for that final spot on the podium. And it looks like the Medford boys have all but got their positions secured here tonight. It's going to take some late race shenanigans to knock them out of place and put them out of sorts. Your top 4 have absolutely stepped away from the field. Another 2 seconds back to the 74 of Dustin Franklin. So Franklin's going to need some help if he's going to have an opportunity at a podium here tonight. Zach Woods looking for a position on John Gutekunst. That's going to be for 13th and 14th. We're going to stay right here with the battle for the final spot on the podium with less than 5 laps remaining. Gutekunst is going to grab that position away from Zachary Woods. Move Gutekunst into the 13th position. Pamitat and Smalling going at it for the 7th position. Off of 4, crossing the line, 4 laps remain for race leader front of this field, Chris Medford, looking to get the job done, looking to snatch his 2nd race win on the season. Will he get the job done, or can Brandon find a little bit of pace? The late going here tonight in the Joe Lassen Senior Memorial 100 live from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Chris and Brandon Medford absolutely class of the field here tonight. And how about Troy Radford? He's been laying the fight to Giles all night long. We don't want to break away from this battle, but at the front, don't look now, the gap is closing. Brandon Medford closing in on Chris for the top spot and the checkered flag. Troy Radford going to pull a slide job through 3 and 4. Will cross the line this time by popsicle sticks on display for your race leader, Chris Medford, but the race lead down to half a second for a moment. It's going to shoot up, and it looks like Brandon losing a little bit of ground. So as the battle continues for third, we're going to transition back to your race leader. Watch him work off of turn number 4. We'll cross the line this time around, and white flag flies. Final lap in the Joe Lassen Senior Memorial 100 right here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. You're watching the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. Through 1 and 2, once again, the race lead all but in his back pocket. We're going to look right here. Let's go back to this battle. Man, we don't want to miss any of the action. Race leader Chris Medford going to come out of turn number 4, head across the line. Checkered flag will fly. Your race win goes to Chris Medford, and Troy Radford will secure that third position. Cody Giles giving it all he had, but couldn't quite get there. Let's get back to the man of the hour, though, right here. Job well done. I mean, lights out performance. Fastest lap of the race. Led the most laps. Led the last lap. Led the first lap. He's got them all written down. It's all got check marks to it. My goodness. Chris Medford, just absolute stellar performance here tonight from New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and he's going to bring his truck back to the start-finish line to give the fans in the stands a photo opportunity and treat us to a little bit of a smoke show. And here we go. He's going to begin his post-race celebrations. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We're going to take just a moment to get things set up for our post-race interview. So there he is, burning it down on the front stretch here tonight in the Joe Lassen Senior Memorial 100. Your race winner inside of the 46, Chris Medford. And back high above the track here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, we're going to dive right in to your post-race interviews. Let's see if we can't run down and catch a few words with the man that walked away third here tonight inside of that Lucky Finn project, number 94 Machine. Troy, welcome back. Welcome back to the track and welcome back to these post-race interviews, bud. How you feeling after a solid third place here tonight?
Yeah, I mean that's about what it is. It's a solid finish. I had absolutely nothing for the leaders. Had not much on the short run. The long run helped me a little bit, but Chris and Brandon were just class of the field tonight. I had nothing on their rotation off, and they did a great job out there.
Now, Troy, I know nobody comes to finish third, but does it make it any sweeter finishing third to the guys that you did? I mean, you're all basically teammates here. 1, 2, 3 finish. So even though you walk away third with a solid finish, it's still going to be a pretty good night for you and the boys.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm thrilled to get the top three like that, and always happy to see Brandon and Chris win. Definitely on my side, it's a little maybe I'm just down on myself or whatever, but definitely I've been missing some speed in this truck. Just don't seem to have what it takes to win right now. So I got to figure it out on my end. Been top five almost every race I think, but just not competing for wins. So I got to do something to figure it out on my side.
Well, you kind of answered. Oh my goodness. You kind of answered our next question was we know you're a good driver. We know the talent. We know the speed's there. What can you do to try to catapult yourself into that victory lane? When do you think you can get this 94 to the checkered flag first? A little bit of a, I don't want to say a rare occasion, but almost. I mean, we're 5 races in, and I've yet to talk to you in victory lane. Uh, is it just I mean, I don't know how to ask it. Is something just what's wrong with you, bro?
Part of it is having the Meffords up there. They've definitely taken their game up, and they're doing a heck of a job. Part of it is, we've got some good drivers in this field who have been, good. The other thing, looking at the schedule so far, what we've got Daytona, Phoenix, Las Vegas, Kansas, lots of these wide open, never lift tracks. So, those are never my forte, not anything that I really enjoy doing. It's more just like, hold the mat down and hope for the best. So this is really our first track. Phoenix, yeah, a little bit. Phoenix and this are the only tracks that we've run that have had off throttle time. And I've, had a chance at Phoenix, and I think I got a little bit of bad luck there. So Eldora next week's not going to be. I'll do okay. I'm not a dirt guy. Then we head to Michigan, another wide open. So, it's just one of those schedules so far that's just had so much on throttle time. And being that I'm not an ultra aggressive driver, it doesn't lend to the short run for me. So, it is what it is. And, glad to see these other guys win. Not to say it's not frustrating, but,
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Troy, I'm going to give you one word of advice, and I don't think it's actually a word of advice. Time to just roll up them sleeves, man, and head down and Ross Chastain the field. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Just kidding, Ross. If you're listening, I love you, buddy. I absolutely love you. But anyways, Troy, congratulations on a podium finish once again. Get to talk to you and catch up in these post-race interviews. So before we let you go, you know the drill. We're going to step on back, and the mic is yours.
Yeah, of course, just big congrats over to Chris and Brandon. Heck of a race there. And of course, all of my guys that are on board with me, Lucky Finn Project, Evidence Based Mommy, as well as National Kidney Foundation, and, all the guys over at Charity Motorsports. So thank you.
All right, Troy. Well, again, congratulations on your podium here tonight from New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and we'll see if we can't maybe talk to you next week when we're slinging some dirt or here in the next few weeks.
Bye.
All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man that walks away third here tonight inside of his Lucky Finn Project, number 94 Chevy Silverado. That's going to be Troy Radford walking away in third. The Duncansville, Pennsylvania native gonna get the job done, and we're gonna get our job done and move a little bit further in the field. Not able to walk away with back-to-back race wins, but gonna walk away with back-to-back podium finishes. Brandon, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, you had a heck of a battle there for that top spot. It was almost in your back pocket, but came up just a little bit short. Does your teammate make it any easier to lose to?
I mean, if I'm going to lose, I'd rather it be to one of the other two guys in the top three there. But losing sucks.
Well, that's why I was like, I mean, I didn't really want to say it that way, but Brandon, you had a fast truck out there. You stayed at the front of the field for the majority of the evening. Do you think there's anything that you could have done different, maybe on one of these restarts, to possibly grab that race lead?
I probably could have pushed it harder there, but Chris was just so good. It was going to take a long run to get by him, and I think I got it there the very last little bit, but I figured it out about 10 laps too late.
So what you're saying is we needed two green white checkers, and you might have had it.
Oh, I already told him I was going to wreck him.
Well, you guys can discuss that at Thanksgiving or the 4th of July holidays. You know what I mean? You guys can iron that out later. A heck of a run for you and your crew here again tonight with another podium finish this season. So, congratulations on that, Brandon. Before we let you go, though, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, just shout out to my brother for having a great truck tonight. I really wouldn't have wrecked him. Us finishing 1-2 was awesome. One of these days, I got to turn that around though. I got to be in front of him, but he's really good. And then to have Troy back there, shout out to him. He struggled all night and found a way to come out P3. I think he figured it out there towards the end. So good job to him. And shout out to you, Dave. You always do a great broadcast. I love getting up here talking to you. This is 3 weeks in a row, so we're going to try to figure that out, how to do it again next week. But I'd like to thank my family for letting me do this. All my charity motorsports teammates. We got Doug and Troy and Chris and Matt, and all of us are having a really good time. Running around here together. So, and then also got a shout out to my charities: Zoe's Place, Ellie's Place, Lucky Finn, Kids Talk, and Race for Riley. Also, a shout out to Chris Wally over at iRock. He helps me out with some paint and stuff like that. So I think that's about all I got, buddy. I'm hoping I'm going to see you up here and we can chat about this again next week.
All right, my man. Well, we'll see if you can't sling some dirt at Eldora and get back to one of these podium finishes. And who knows, maybe we'll talk to you at the end in Victory Lane with those little nitro pyros going off.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, again, congratulations, Brandon. We'll see when we can talk to you next.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Final few words from the man that walks away second here tonight inside of his 83 machine. Brandon Medford not going to be able to back up last week's race-winning performance with a checkered flag, but he will make it a third podium in a row. Great season here beginning to get underway for Brandon Medford. The 83 crew, job well done, and that's going to move us right along, and we're going to begin to make our way into Victory Lane. Let's see if we can't dial them up. Walking away with the checkered flag for the second time this season inside of that 46 truck. Chris, it's Dave. How you doing, bud?
I'm good, Dave. What's that smell?
It smells like burnt tires. I don't know. Is that what we're talking about?
No, I think Troy Rafford said he left a fart there in the booth and it's just lingering.
Well, it's a good thing I talked to you guys in your office and not mine. He can stink up that truck all he wants.
Absolutely.
Well, Chris, man, it's been a little while. I say a little while since we've talked to you from Victory Lane. I believe 3 weeks now, since that first race win. You and your teammates going to go 1, 2, 3. You walked away basically with every point possible. You led the most laps, fastest lap, qualified on pole, checkered flag in hand. Man, is there anything that you didn't get done?
I didn't lead all the laps. No, Brandon and them guys, they was fast. It was hard to pass. It was once you get that clean air, it was pretty easy to maneuver where you wanted to go. Once you got behind somebody, not saying it was difficult, but the line you had to run, you basically using up 2 to 3 lanes just to run basically one driving line. So it was definitely difficult.
Well, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, one of those bigger tracks that races like it's a short track. I like to call it just a Martinsville on steroids, laid out very similar. A little bit of banking differences, but both of them very tough technical tracks to get the forward bite up off of the corners and keep the rear of the trucks underneath you under braking. You seem to have everything figured out here tonight. You were stellar on all of the restarts. So as we switch gears and head off of the pavement and into dirt next week, from the world's fastest dirt track from Eldora Speedway, what are your chances? What are your shots? And you think we'll be talking again?
Maybe from the infield care center. No, we ran at Bristol. When was it? I think it was last Thursday, and I had fun. Um, I mean, bad part about it is we had so many guys out there, which was great. It pushed the cushion away from the wall, or yeah, away from the wall to into the wall. So we kept had to bounce the right rear off the wall, which kind of sucked because it kind of defeats a lot of the skill part of things. I feel like, but it still makes it fun to race, and there's still multiple grooves to race. I've never been really good at Eldora. It's just I'm not sure. I've never been really good at dirt in general. I just go out there, try to have fun, and try not to send anybody to the hot dog stand.
Well, you had a ton of fun here tonight walking away with the checkered flag. We'll see how you go next week. So before we let you go and soak in this race win, Chris, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the shop?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you, Dave, for the broadcast, and then John and all the other admins for putting up with all of us. I know we all can be a headache at times, but they do a great job at managing the league. So I want to give kudos to those guys. Happy to have Brandon and Troy, my teammates. Join up here on the podium. It's pretty cool. You don't often see a 1, 2, 3 finish, so especially with this kind of a stellar of a league. So it's pretty awesome to be able to achieve that. Shout out to all of our sponsors: Race for Riley, Zoe's Place, Ellie's Place, Mission 22, Lucky Finn Project, all the causes we race for. Dave, I'm sure as long as you know us, we've always raced for a cause, and that's actually where a lot of us was meeting at for a league called Racing for a Cause. Is where me and Troy met. So, it's pretty cool to race for those leagues. In case somebody's like, oh, what's this, and they look it up and like, oh, that's pretty cool. Let me check it out even more. So, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get more exposure out there for all those causes, all those great causes. And even all the other ones that are out there, just giving back to the community, giving it back to people in need. It's always a blessing in my eyes to be able to do that. So it's awesome to do that. And like I said, for you guys broadcasting, you guys are getting bigger and bigger day in and day out, which is stellar. So it's awesome to do all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I know everybody back at the network appreciates all the kind words, man. Chris, it's been, I want to say years, man, that we've been dealing with each other and having these post-race interviews, talks, man. It's always a pleasure to catch up with you and Victory Lane as well as the other podium drivers. So again, just a big shout out for the way that you've handled this season so far. A little bit of a rough go mixed in with some great runs as well. I believe you're going to have yourself a pretty big jump at the point standing, so we'll see how it all shakes out as we get ready to head to Eldora. But until next time, Chris, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
Well, dude, Dave, you take care of yourself.
All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man that walks away with the top spot, checkered flag in hand. Knightstown, Indiana's very own Chris Metford going to walk away with his second victory of the season. What a run and what a night here tonight from New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Joe Lassen Senior Memorial 100, and there it is. Producers hitting those buttons so you know the sounds, you know the tunes, you know it's time for us to run down tonight's unofficial race results from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Walking away with the top spot, checkered flag in hand, inside of his 46 machine, Chris Metford gets his second win. Brandon Metford looking for back-to-back visits to Victory Lane. He's going to come up one spot short. Metford will finish in second. Teammate Troy Ratford in the Lucky Finn Project number 94 walks away with the final spot on the podium. Cody Giles back and forth with Dustin Franklin sliding home in fifth, finishing sixth here tonight. The 42 of Thad Failer. Brandon Pamitat going to bring his 48 home in seventh, while eighth place belongs to Thomas Smalling. John Garrett in the 66 machine home in ninth, and finishing out your top 10, the 55 square D of Nathan Eastep. Ricky Gonzalez in the 7 truck going to finish in 11th, while Mark Gonzalez going to walk away with 12th. John Gutekunst back in 13th. 14th tonight's a newcomer. Quiet night for the 4 truck. Scott Clodfelter finishes in 14th. Zachary Woods back in 15th. Mark Parkhurst going to come home in 16th. 17th tonight belongs to Ray Radford. Scott Baker back in 18th. 19th tonight, the Joe Lassen Senior Memorial 100 belongs to Wes Fuller. James Hood back in 20th with Tyler Woodard finishing out the 21 trunk field here tonight from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. You heard it from our podium drivers. We're going to be slinging some dirt at Eldora next week. It's going to be a barn burner of a dirt race. You don't want to miss that action. One a night, one a run here tonight. And if you haven't already, join us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. And as always, show these drivers some love and drop them that thumbs up. Click subscribe and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side to get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. With us, myself, David the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. So with that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.